Hello, my name is Malachi Morrison, and I will be presenting why you can't fight just one oppression. Have you ever noticed how people just deal with one problem at a time? Like not just racism or sexism or just being poor. It's usually just a mix of all those. Something like Andre Lador talked about when she couldn't afford to fight one form of oppression. So in this video, I'm going to break down how different forms of oppression are connected using evidence from sources in this course, and explain why, explain why that they actually matter in real life. Thesis. My main point is that different forms of oppression like racism, sexism, and class inequality, are connected because they overlap and affect people at the same time, not separately. Source 1, racism. One source from this course explains how racism affects people in multiple areas of life and not just socially. It talks about how discrimination can impact job opportunities, education, and even how people are treated by the justice system. For example, certain groups are more likely to face unfair treatment when applying for jobs or dealing with law enforcement. This shows that racism just isn't one issue. It spreads into different parts of life, creates long-term disadvantages. Another source focuses on gender inequality and how women are treated in society. But what is most important, it also shows how women of color often face more challenges than others. This is because they experience both racism and sexism at the same time. The idea of intersociality, which means different forms of oppression overlap and combine to create a stronger impact. So instead of experiencing just one type of discrimination, people can experience multiple at once. A third source talks about class inequality, in which is the difference in that income, opportunities, access to resources. People who are lower economic classes often face fewer opportunities like access to quality education or healthcare. But again, the issue doesn't exist by itself. Class inequality is often connected by race and gender, meaning some groups often face more likely to experience poverty because of other forms of oppression. Connect. While you look at all three sources together, you start with a clear pattern. Racism, sexism, and class inequality are not separate problems. They are connected. They affect each other and often happen at the same time to the same people. This often connects directly with Andre Lador was saying. She believed that you just can't focus on one form of oppression because people are dealing with multiple forms at once. If you only fight one, you're ignoring the full experience of people who are affected. In real life, this happens all the time. For example, someone might face discrimination at work because of their race, be paid less because of their gender, and also struggle financially. These problems don't just happen separately. They build on each other. This is why solving one issue doesn't fix everything. You have to look at the bigger picture. I agree with Lador. She's right that we just can't fight one form of oppression because they are all connected. If we ignore this connection, then we're actually not solving the problem, we're only addressing a part of it. And then at the end of the day, understanding how oppression works helps us see the bigger picture. It shows that real change requires addressing multiple issues at once, not just one. And if more people understood that, we could start taking better solutions. Thanks for watching.